Hi everyone, this is Mary from Athena's Bibliotheca, and today I'm going to do the mid-year book freakout tag because I've seen it and I thought it was cool, so I decided to do it. That's all there is to it. I'll leave the creator's information in the description below the video. First thing we talk about is what is the best book you've read so far this year, and for this one, I'm going with The Zodiac Legacy Convergence by Stan Lee, Stuart Moore, and Andy Tong. This book was so good. It is about this kid named Stephen Lee who ends up obtaining a power of the Zodiac, and the other Zodiac powers, the Chinese Zodiac powers, get released into the world. And heroics ensue after that. And it's real good. And there's pictures and stuff in it too. It's just a really nice book and it's awesome. I still haven't read the last one, even though I own it, and I'm like halfway through it. The next one is the best sequel you read this year. I was thinking about using the sequel to the Zodiac, but since I already used it in another question, I was going to switch it up, and I'm going to say the Fairy Tale by Hiromashima. This is the first one because I only own the first one, but I read the last 20 or so. Anyways, they were all really good, and I just needed to show this off, I guess, because it's just a really fun story and everyone should enjoy it, is my opinion. The next one is a new release you want to read but haven't yet, and for this I chose two, and that's Arusha and the End of Time by Roshani Chokshi and The Trials of Apollo the Burning Maze by Rick Riordan. Both of these need to be read, but I haven't yet. I own them, as you can see, but I haven't read them yet. The fourth thing on this tag is the most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and for this I'm going to say The Storm Runner by J.C. Cervantes. I don't know for sure how to say her last name or his last name. I don't know if it's a girl or guy. Anyways, all I really know about it is it's based on Mayan mythology, and it's another one in the Riordan Presents imprint. And I just want to read all of them. There's another one coming out called The Dragon Pearl. I also want to read that really badly. Number 5 is Your Biggest Disappointment, and for this I'm going to say Amulet the Stone Keeper. I'm pretty sure it's called that. I don't remember who it's by, to be honest, but I borrowed it from the library and I was really excited about it because everyone talks about how good it is, and I read it and I was like, it's alright. It wasn't like I disliked it all the way through. There's some parts that I was okay about, but it was a letdown in the fact that I thought it was going to be way better than that, and it wasn't. So Your Biggest Surprise is number 6, and for this I'm going with Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. And this is a surprise for me because I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did. At first, like the first half of the book, I was like, it's okay, it was as I expected. But once I got past the halfway point, it just got so much better. And so it was very surprising how much I enjoyed it. It turned itself around in the middle. It asks you what your favorite new author is, and this was kind of hard because I haven't read many new authors at all this year. I guess I read most of it. So I ended up saying that my new favorite author is Stan Lee because he was an author of the Zodiac Legacy, and I really liked it. Stan Lee and Stuart Moore, because Andy Tong wrote or drew the pictures, I'm pretty sure. So then are my favorite new, even though I've only read the Zodiac Legacy, but we're going with it. For number 8, it's newest fictional crush, which I can't really say that I have one because all of the ones that I have were like from rereads or books or people I already met previous years, or so I don't really have one. I guess I could say Carlos and Jay from The Descendants because they're really cool. Jay's awesome. Carlos is awesome from The Descendants. Those might be fictional crushes. Let's go with that. We're going with that. Number 9 is newest favorite character, and for this I'm going to go with a group of characters. The Descendants from Isle of the Lost by Melissa de la Cruz. So I'm talking about Mal, Evie, Jay, and Carlos because they're just so awesome. At first, I will admit that I didn't really like them that much because they were villains. Kids, you could tell. But as it went on, I got to like more. I liked them more and more as the story went on, and towards the end, it was fantastic. So, favorite characters. They're awesome. Number 10 is a book that made you cry. And no book has made me cry this year because it takes a lot for me to cry in books. I normally don't have any tears. So, but I chose one that is very sad. Like, that almost made me cry, but I didn't. And that is surprising. Is All Fall Down by Allie Carter. And it's towards the end that the sad part for me happens, and it almost made me cry, and I won't spoil it because it's a plot twist, but yeah, almost made me cry. A book that made you happy, and for this one, it's a reread. So if you've watched previous videos, I talk about this book quite a bit, and I'm going to talk about it again. I haven't talked about it in the past couple videos, I don't think, and that's Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertelli. I reread this year, and it always makes me smile and makes me happy, and I'm just like, they're so sweet, and it's such a sweet, adorable story. And I still haven't watched Love, Simon, which makes me mad because I really want to. I will. But this book is just, it's my happy go-to book, I guess. Number 12 is favorite book to movie adaptation, and I can't think of any that I've read or that I've seen that it's a book to movie adaptation. I guess you could count Black Panther because that's technically comics to movie. So technically comic book to movie. We're counting Black Panther. So Black Panther is my favorite book to movie adaptation because Black Panther was awesome. Number 13 is your favorite review you've written this year. And you could also do video that you made this year, but I don't do reviews through video. I have a Tumblr where I post all of my, or when I think about it. Sometimes I forget to write reviews, and so I never do. But the majority of book reviews I write are on my Tumblr, Athena's Bibliotheca. And my favorite one that I want to say is the one I wrote for Magia the Ninth by Ichiya Sazanami, and I don't know why, because all of my reviews are kind of short-ish, unless I like have a rant to go on about how awesome the characters are or something. And this one's a short one, but I don't know, I just felt really, I felt good about that review. Like, even though it was short and like to the point, it kind of like, I don't know, it felt very much like a review, if that makes any sense. Because the majority of the reviews on Tumblr feel more like me ranting about how much the book is awesome for the majority of the time. But this one felt very much like a review for some reason, if that makes any sense at all. It does to me. So this is my favorite that I made. Number 14 is the most beautiful book you've bought this year. And for this, I'm going with What We See in the Stars by Kelly Osied. This book, just look at the cover. It's beautiful. The cover is beautiful. But then you open it up and it's like, bam, end pages, beautiful. Then you go further and bam, pictures in the actual story part is beautiful. Bam, 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 everything beautiful, gorgeous book that, look at that. It's just back cover. It's just beautiful. And if you like stars and constellations and things out in space like planets or any of that stuff, get this book. It's worth it. And the last question / topic that they have for this tag is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? And I have a lot. I wish I would be able to read all of my TBR, but I'm going to be giving myself and say I'm just going to give, how many are there? 3. I have 3 books right here that I am going to say that I need to read by the end of the year. And that's, one of them is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. And I actually did start this, like I got like a couple pages in. I didn't get that far. Like, this is how far it is. That's all I read. And what I read was good. It was interesting. If you like superheroes, sounds really cool. I want to read it. The sequel is coming out. I should get the sequel and then I could just like marathon both of them at the same time. That'd be nice. Possibly what I'm going to do, but I don't know. But I want to finish this. As you can tell, because I put it in this part. Another one I want to read by the end of the year is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. And this one, I want to see the movie. And I can't, because I'm that type of reader that wants to read the book before they watch the movie. And it's mostly because if I watch the movie, I know I'm going to have a hard time reading the book. That's just how I am with book to movie adaptations. If I watch the adaptation before I read the book, I have a hard time reading the book. Unless it's like unless the adaptation is extremely bad. Like Percy Jackson, that adaptation didn't happen at all. I don't know what I'm talking about because it doesn't exist. I don't know. Maybe I had a blank. But I had a super easy time reading the books after watching that PJ movie, whatever. I don't know. Something about Greeks. They said that they were based off the same book, but they're not. I don't know what they're telling you. I think it was a scam to get people in the theaters to watch it. Because it's nothing like the book. No matter who says that. If someone says that it's like the book, they're lying. They're lying. Now that I've gone on a little rant about that, let's go on to the last book that I am saying that I need to read by the end of the year. I mean, there's other books I want to read by the end of the year, but for this tag, these are 3 books that I chose to talk about, okay? The next one is Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. And no, I haven't read this. Yes, I've read most of the Throne of Glass books. Have yet to read this. Some people like Throne of Glass more than this. Some people like this more than Throne of Glass. I don't know either. So far, right now, I like Throne of Glass better because I haven't read this. So that's not very nice of me to say I like Throne of Glass better than this because I haven't read this and I need to. I'm gonna get on it. Maybe. I always have books that I talk about in these videos where I'm like, I need to read that. When is it gonna happen? I don't know. So that is all. Now that I've gone on a rant about something that doesn't matter, that has nothing to do with this book tag. And I've complained about the fact that I don't read the books that I want to read. Even though I read all the time, it just doesn't seem like I ever finish any books that I need to finish. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Maybe it doesn't, but it does to me. And that's, I guess, all that matters. I hope you have a fabulous day or week or whatever. And keep on adventuring. See ya.